Hey, 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 welcome back to Fluentx English. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just have to tell you what happened to me this morning.
Uh-oh, here we go. Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and clearly Sarah has a story.
I do. So I'm Sarah, and guys, I was getting coffee this morning, right? And this super friendly barista starts talking to me about, get this, the new trade policies.
Wait, trade policies at a coffee shop?
I know. And Mike, I panicked. I mean, I know what's happening in the news, I read articles, I watch videos, but when he asked me, so what do you think about all this? My brain just went completely blank.
Oh no, see, this is exactly what we're talking about today. You can read the news, you can understand the news, but talking about it, that's a whole different skill.
Right? Like, where do you even start? Do you share your opinion? Do you stay neutral? What words do you use? It's so stressful.
Absolutely, and that's why today's topic is super important. How to talk about current events and news like a native. Because, guys, this comes up everywhere. At work, at parties, in casual conversations, even apparently at coffee shops.
Yes. And the thing is, native speakers make it look so easy. They're like, oh yeah, did you hear about that thing? And then boom, they're having this whole sophisticated conversation.
Right, but here's the secret. They're using patterns, phrases, and strategies that you can learn too. It's not magic, it's just practice.
And today we're breaking it all down for you. We're going to give you the exact words, the phrases, the tone, everything you need to confidently discuss news and current events in English.
And we're keeping it real. No boring textbook advice. This is practical stuff that actually works in real conversations.
Yes. Now, if you're new here, welcome to the Fluentx family. We're so excited to have you. And if you've been watching our videos, you already know we're all about making English learning fun and practical.
Absolutely. And hey, if you're enjoying this so far, go ahead and smash that like button. It really helps us out and motivates us to keep creating awesome content for you every single day.
Every single day, guys. We're committed. So hit subscribe and turn on those notifications so you never miss out.
All right, enough talking about talking. Let's actually start talking.
I see what you did there. Let's go.
Okay, Sarah, let's start with the biggest question. Why is talking about news so intimidating for English learners?
Oh man, where do I even begin? First of all, the vocabulary. News uses such specific words like inflation, sanctions, legislation. These aren't words you learn in basic English classes.
Exactly. And here's what makes it worse. News vocabulary changes depending on the topic. Political news has different words than sports news, which is different from entertainment news, which is different from tech news.
It's overwhelming. So what do we do? Do we need to memorize thousands of news words?
No. That would take forever. Here's the good news, pun intended. You don't need to know every news word to have a conversation about current events.
Wait, really?
Really? See, native speakers have the same problem sometimes. We hear a news story about something technical or specialized, and we don't know all the fancy terms either, but we can still talk about it.
Okay, so how?
We talk about the big picture. Instead of getting lost in technical details, we focus on the main idea, the impact, and our reaction to it. Let me give you an example. Let's say there's a news story about some complicated economic policy, right?
Go on.
So apparently, they're changing some rules about interest rates. I don't fully understand all the details, but basically it means loans are going to get more expensive.
Oh, so they're admitting they don't know everything.
Exactly, and that's totally okay. In fact, Saying, "I don't fully understand all the details," is a great phrase that native speakers use all the time.
Wow, that takes so much pressure off. So we don't have to be experts.
Not at all. You just need to understand enough to have an opinion or ask good questions. And honestly, asking questions is sometimes better than pretending you know everything.
Okay, I love this. But Mike, let's talk about another problem. Speed. News stories change so fast. Like, by the time I read an article and understand it, there's already 3 new stories.
Yes, the news cycle is crazy fast these days. But here's the thing. You don't need to know every single story. Even native speakers don't follow everything.
Really?
Really, most people follow the big headlines and maybe dive deep into topics they care about. Like, I follow tech news closely, but sports news? Barely pay attention.
Oh, that's such a relief. So it's okay to say I haven't been following that story?
Absolutely. That's a perfectly normal response. In fact, let me teach you guys some super useful phrases for when you don't know about a news story. Ready?
Yes, give them to us.
All right, so if someone brings up a news story you don't know, you can say, "I actually haven't heard about that. What happened?" Or, "Oh, I must have missed that one. Fill me in." Or, "I've been out of the loop. What's going on?"
Ooh, out of the loop. I like that phrase.
Right? It's so natural. And here's the beautiful thing. When you say this, the other person gets to explain the story, which most people actually enjoy doing. And while they're explaining, you're learning.
That's so smart. So instead of feeling embarrassed that you don't know, you're turning it into a conversation.
Exactly. Now let's talk about the opposite problem. What if you do know about a news story and you want to bring it up in conversation?
Yes, because that's scary too. Like, how do you casually introduce a news topic without sounding weird or preachy?
Great question. So here's the key. You need conversation starters, not lectures. You're not giving a presentation, you're starting a discussion.
Okay, so what does that sound like?
All right, so instead of saying, "The economic implications of the recent policy changes are significant," which sounds like a robot,
Yes, super robotic.
instead you say something like, "Hey, did you see that thing about the new policy? Pretty wild, right?" Or, "So I was reading about that situation in wherever. What do you think about it?"
Oh, so you're keeping it casual and inviting their opinion.
Exactly. You're creating dialogue, not delivering a monologue. Another great starter is, "I've been following this story about. Have you heard about it?"
That's good. It's open-ended.
Yes. And here's a pro tip. End your introduction with a question, always, because that immediately makes it conversational instead of you just stating facts.
Love that. Okay, so we've covered how to handle not knowing a story and how to introduce a story we do know. Mike, what about actually having opinions? Because that's where I really freeze up.
Ah, yes, opinions. This is tricky because news topics can be sensitive, right? Politics, social issues, controversial events. You don't want to accidentally offend someone.
Exactly. So do we just avoid sharing opinions?
No, you can absolutely share opinions, but you do it thoughtfully. Let me teach you the opinion sandwich technique.
The what? Opinion sandwich?
Yes, so here's how it works. You sandwich your opinion between acknowledgement of other perspectives. Let me show you. Let's say the topic is about a new technology regulation, okay?
Okay, I'm listening.
You say something like, "I can see why some people support it because of safety concerns, but personally, I think it might slow down innovation, though I understand both sides have valid points."
Oh, so you're acknowledging different viewpoints, stating your opinion, and then showing you're open-minded.
Exactly, the sandwich. It makes you sound thoughtful and balanced instead of aggressive or one-sided.
That's brilliant, and probably way more likely to lead to an actual conversation instead of an argument.
Absolutely, because here's the thing. The goal of talking about news isn't to win a debate. It's to exchange ideas and understand different perspectives.
I love that mindset. Okay, let's talk about something super practical. What if you're in a conversation and people are using abbreviations or acronyms? Like they're talking about the UN, NATO, GDP, and you're like, wait, what does that even stand for?
Yes, news is full of abbreviations. Okay, so first of all, it's totally fine to ask. You can say, sorry, what does that stand for again? Native speakers forget abbreviations too.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like, I know FBI, obviously, but some of these government agencies, I have to ask sometimes.
Okay, so asking isn't embarrassing.
Not at all. In fact, asking shows you're engaged and want to understand, way better than just nodding along confused.
True. What are some common news abbreviations we should know, though?
Okay, let's cover the basics. UN is United Nations. NATO is North Atlantic Treaty Organization. GDP is Gross Domestic Product. CEO is Chief Executive Officer. AI is artificial intelligence, now super common. COVID, we all know that one now.
Unfortunately, yes. What about when reading news in English? Any tips for that?
Oh, great question. So, when you're reading news articles to prepare for conversations, don't try to understand every single word. Focus on the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, and why.
The 5 W's. I remember that from school.
Exactly. If you can answer those 5 questions about a news story, you understand enough to talk about it. You don't need to memorize the entire article.
That's so helpful. Okay, Mike, let's talk about tone, because news conversations can be serious, but they can also be light, right?
Absolutely. And reading the room is super important. Some news topics are heavy: disasters, tragedies, serious political issues. Those require a more respectful tone. But some news is lighter: celebrity gossip, funny stories, weird trends.
Right, like you wouldn't laugh about a natural disaster, but you could laugh about some silly viral trend.
Exactly. So pay attention to how the other person is approaching the topic. If they seem serious, match that energy. If they're being playful, you can be playful too.
Social awareness.
Yes, and here's another thing. It's totally okay to acknowledge when a topic is heavy. You can say things like, man, that's really sad. Or, wow, that's a tough situation. Or, honestly, I don't even know what to think about that.
So being honest about your emotional reaction?
Absolutely. Native speakers do this all the time. We don't always have perfect articulate responses to everything. Sometimes we're just like, wow, that's crazy. And that's a totally valid contribution to the conversation.
I love how human this is.
Right? News conversations don't have to be these perfectly polished debates. They're just people sharing information and reactions.
Okay, we've covered so much already. Should we summarize before going to part 2?
Great idea. So everyone, here's what we've learned in part 1. You don't need to know every detail or every fancy word to talk about news. Focus on the big picture and use phrases like, I don't fully understand all the details, but basically, when you don't know a story, say, I haven't been following that. What happened? When you do know, introduce it casually with questions like, did you see that thing about? Share opinions using the sandwich technique, acknowledging different perspectives, and match the tone of the conversation. Serious for serious, light for light topics.
Perfect summary. And remember, guys, this is a skill you build over time. Don't expect to sound like a news anchor tomorrow.
Exactly. Now let's jump into part 2, where we're going to give you specific phrases for different types of news topics.
All right, everyone, welcome to part 2. This is where it gets really practical.
Yes. So, Sarah, let's break down different categories of news because they each have their own language patterns, right?
Oh, definitely. Like, talking about political news is totally different from talking about celebrity news.
Exactly. So let's start with political news, since that's what makes people most nervous. Sarah, why do you think political conversations are scary?
Oh man, because politics is so polarizing. People have strong opinions, and you don't want to accidentally start a fight at a dinner party.
Yes. Okay, so here's the strategy for political news conversations. You can participate without being controversial. Let me show you how.
Please do.
All right, so instead of making strong statements like, that politician is terrible, or that party is ruining everything, you can use more neutral observation language. For example, it seems like there's a lot of debate about this issue, or people have pretty mixed reactions to this policy.
Oh, so you're describing what's happening without taking a hard stance.
Exactly. You're being informative without being divisive. Another great approach is asking genuine questions, like, I'm curious how this is going to affect small businesses, or I wonder what the long-term impact will be.
So you're inviting discussion instead of declaring your position.
Yes, and here's a phrase that's super useful. I can see arguments on both sides. This shows you're thoughtful and not just blindly following one perspective.
That's really smart. What if someone directly asks you, so who do you support, or what's your position on this?
Great question. You have options. Option 1, you can share your opinion using the sandwich technique we talked about earlier. Option 2, you can redirect with, honestly, I'm still learning about this issue, or I'm trying to understand all the perspectives before deciding. Option 3, you can be honest and say, I prefer not to get into political debates, but I'm happy to discuss the facts.
Ooh, I like that last one. It's honest, but not rude.
Exactly. And here's the thing. In many English-speaking cultures, it's actually considered polite to avoid heavy political debates in casual settings. You're not being evasive, you're being socially aware.
Good to know. All right, let's switch gears. What about economic news, like inflation, stock markets, unemployment rates, that kind of stuff?
Okay, so economic news is interesting because it affects everyone, so people are usually willing to talk about it. The key is relating it to everyday life.
What do you mean?
So instead of saying, the inflation rate increased by 2.3%, which sounds like a textbook,
Very textbook.
you say something like, have you noticed how expensive groceries are getting? I read it's because of inflation. Or, gas prices are insane right now. Apparently it's tied to that whole supply chain thing.
Oh, so you're connecting the abstract economic concept to real-life experiences.
Exactly. Everyone can relate to grocery prices or gas prices. That makes the conversation accessible and relatable.
That's so much easier than trying to explain complex economic theories. What are some useful phrases for economic news?
Great question. Here are some common ones. The economy is struggling right now, or the market's been really volatile lately, or there's talk of a recession, or consumer spending is down. You don't need to understand all the technical details, just the general trend.
Perfect. Okay, what about international news, like conflicts, disasters, humanitarian issues? How do we talk about those sensitively?
This is important. So for serious international news, the tone is definitely more somber and respectful. You're not trying to be funny or clever. You're acknowledging real human impact.
Right, these are serious situations affecting real people.
Exactly. So phrases that work well here include, it's heartbreaking to see what's happening in, or my thoughts are with the people affected by, or I can't imagine what they're going through, or the situation seems really dire.
Those are compassionate without being preachy.
Yes, and if you want to discuss the political or logistical aspects, you can say things like, I hope the international community steps in, or it's complicated because of the history there, or there doesn't seem to be an easy solution.
Acknowledging the complexity without pretending to have all the answers.
Exactly. Now let's talk about a fun category, entertainment and celebrity news. This is where you can be way more casual and playful.
Oh, yes, this is easier, right?
Much easier, because the stakes are low. You're talking about movies, music, celebrity drama. It's all pretty lighthearted.
So, what kind of phrases do we use here?
Okay, so for entertainment news, you can be more opinionated and expressive. Like, did you see that new trailer? It looks amazing. Or, I can't believe they broke up. Or, that award show was so awkward.
Way more emotional.
Yes, and people love sharing hot takes on entertainment. A hot take is like a bold opinion. You can say, okay, here's my hot take. That movie was overrated. Or, unpopular opinion, but I actually liked that album.
Ooh, hot take and unpopular opinion. Those are great phrases.
Right? They signal that you're about to share a potentially controversial opinion about something low stakes, so it's fun, not offensive.
Love it. What about technology news? Because that's huge right now with AI, social media, all that stuff.
Oh man, tech news is everywhere. And the good thing is, people love talking about tech because it affects daily life.
True, everyone has an opinion about their phone or apps or whatever.
Exactly. So for tech conversations, you can talk about your personal experience, like, have you tried that new app? I'm obsessed. Or, I'm still not sure how I feel about AI. It's kind of scary, but also cool. Or, these privacy concerns are getting out of hand.
So it's a mix of personal reaction and bigger implications?
Yes, and here's a fun phrase for tech news. I'm old school, but... And then you share your opinion. Like, I'm old school, but I still prefer actual books over e-readers.
That's cute. What about social issues and movements like equality, environment, social justice topics?
Okay, this is sensitive territory, so tread carefully. These topics matter deeply to people, so you want to be respectful and thoughtful.
Absolutely.
The best approach here is to lead with empathy and willingness to learn. Phrases like, I'm trying to educate myself about this issue, or I've been listening to people's experiences and it's really eye-opening, or I think we all have more to learn about this.
So humility and openness?
Exactly. Avoid making it about yourself or dismissing other people's experiences. And if you don't know much about an issue, it's totally fine to say, I don't know enough to have an informed opinion yet, but I'm interested in learning more.
That's honest and respectful.
Yes. Okay, Sarah, let's talk about a practical challenge. What if you're in a group and everyone's talking about a news story, but they're all saying things you disagree with?
Ooh, that's tough. Do you speak up or stay quiet?
It depends. If it's a casual setting and the disagreement is minor, you can gently offer a different perspective using phrases like, I see it a bit differently, or here's another angle to consider, or that's interesting, I actually read that.
So polite disagreement?
Exactly. But if it's a heated topic or you're in a professional setting, sometimes it's wiser to just listen and not engage. You can participate in the conversation by asking questions without revealing your position.
Smart. What about when news is breaking, like something just happened and everyone's talking about it, but information is still coming out?
Great question. So for breaking news, use tentative language because facts are still developing. Say things like, from what I've heard so far, or the reports are saying, or it's still unclear, but apparently.
So you're not stating things as absolute facts.
Exactly, because with breaking news, information changes quickly. You might say, I saw on social media that, but also acknowledge, though you never know how accurate that is, or we'll have to wait for official confirmation.
That's responsible. Okay, Mike, let's give everyone some conversation rescue phrases. Like, what do you say when a news conversation gets awkward or uncomfortable?
Ooh, yes. Okay, so if things get tense, you can use these phrases to cool it down. Well, we probably won't solve this today. Or, anyway, let's talk about something lighter. Or, I think we'll have to agree to disagree on this one. Or, you know what? I need to think about this more before forming an opinion.
Those are perfect for diffusing tension.
Yes, and remember, it's always okay to exit a conversation that makes you uncomfortable. You can say, "Excuse me, I'm gonna grab a drink," or, "Oh, I just remembered I need to make a call." Totally fine.
Good to know. All right, let's talk about active listening in news conversations, because it's not just about talking, right?
Absolutely. Listening is huge, and you can show you're engaged with small verbal reactions, like, "Wow, really?" Or, "I didn't know that," or, "That's crazy," or, "Wait, seriously?"
Those keep you in the conversation without requiring you to say something profound.
Exactly. And don't forget nonverbal cues. Even though we're talking about voice here, remember that in real life, nodding, eye contact, facial expressions all show you're engaged.
True. What about following up on news conversations later?
Oh, that's a great way to build connections. If someone told you about a news story, you can reference it next time you see them. Like, "Hey, remember that thing you mentioned about the tech company? I looked it up and wow." Or, "So that situation we talked about last week, apparently there's been an update."
That shows you were actually listening and thinking about what they said.
Exactly. It's a relationship builder.
Okay, Mike, final thoughts. What are your top tips for mastering news conversations?
All right, here we go. Number 1, stay informed, but don't stress about knowing everything. Follow a few reliable news sources and focus on topics you care about. Number 2, practice the phrases we taught today. Use them in real conversations. And number 3, remember that news conversations are about exchange, not performance. You're not trying to impress anyone, you're just sharing thoughts.
Perfect. My tips are: number 1, start small. Practice with easy topics like entertainment news before jumping into heavy political debates. Number 2, be honest when you don't know something. It's okay to say, "I haven't followed that." And number 3, lead with curiosity. Ask questions, learn from others, and enjoy the conversation.
Love those, Sarah. You know what? Let's give everyone a challenge.
Yes. Okay, everyone, this week, we challenge you to have at least one conversation about current events. Pick a topic you're comfortable with, use some of the phrases we taught you today, and see how it goes.
And here's the key. Start with safe topics. Don't make your first news conversation about controversial politics. Talk about a movie release, a tech announcement, a sports event, something low stakes.
Yes, build your confidence first.
And tell us how it went. Drop a comment below and share your experience. Did the phrases work? How did people react? We want to hear from you.
Absolutely. Your feedback helps us create even better content for you.
All right, everyone, we covered so much today, from political news to entertainment news, from breaking news to sensitive topics, and everything in between.
If this video helped you, please smash that like button. It really means the world to us.
And subscribe to Fluentx English if you haven't already. We're dropping new videos every single day to help you become a confident, fluent English speaker.
Turn on those notifications so you never miss an upload.
Remember, talking about news like a native isn't about being perfect or knowing everything. It's about being engaged, thoughtful, and willing to learn.
You've got this. Now go out there and start some great conversations.
We'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.
Bye. Stay curious.